The morning air smelled faintly of detergent and freshly watered plants as you stepped out of your small apartment, your shoulder bag bouncing against your side. It was your usual routine heading to school where you taught by today. While you were walking through the hall, it was quite noisy, not the regular kids playing noisy, but the heavy thud of furniture being dragged just right beside your apartment door. You slowed your steps while frowning, your voice slipped out without a second thought, half muttered and half growled. Ugh, who is coming to ruin the peace of my life this early in the morning? Your patience was already hanging by a thread. You had stayed up grading assignments till 1 a.m., and now someone decided to play move the whole house right next to you. There were dark circles under your eyes. You had not enough sleep, and now this heavy noise of wooden antique furniture was getting on your nerves. You stormed past the half open doorway, glaring at the big wooden table blocking part of your way. In your frustration, you nudged it with your foot, but you nudged it little too hard, like it caused the sharp crack on the glass table. You gulped as your gaze dropped. The glass centerpiece on the table toppled in slow motion. It seemed before smashing into 100 glittering shards on the floor. Your eyes widened. Oh no, what if the owner comes to know? You looked around, the hallway was empty, no witness to your luck. Your heart pounded like a drum, and before your brain could process consequences, your legs decided to run for you. You ran fastly, your high heels were slapping against the floor, back bouncing, heart racing. You sprinted towards the stairwell like a fugitive. Meanwhile, the table owner was taking a shower while humming a song. It was Jungkook who had moved into this house early in the morning. The water was cascading down his shoulders. His hair was stuck to his forehead as steam fogged up the glass shard door. This was supposed to be his fresh new start, new apartment, peace, privacy. Then he heard a crash. His eyes widened while his body tensed instantly, soap still on his face. He wiped his face with his palm and stepped out. Droplets of water slid down his chest as he hurried out to see the glass broken. Jungkook's breath hitched not out of the cast of the glass but heartbreak. That was not just any glass. It was an antique passed down from his grandmother, the only thing of hers he still had since she had passed away. It was closer to his heart. He had specially instructed the workers to unload it with extra care without leaving any scratch. As it was loaded, he had even checked it several times to find any scratch, but that time there was nothing, and now the whole glass was shattered into millions of small pieces. So did his heart. Who did this? He yelled at his lungs out, his jaw clenched so tight. He turned to one of the workers who was still arranging boxes. Did you do this? He shouted with hand balled into face. The worker shook his head in no. No, sir, but I saw a girl running away. She came from here. He said, pointing at your apartment door. A muscle in Jungkook's cheek twitched. A girl. The worker nodded. Yes, I'm not sure if she did this, but she was running like thieves and her movements were suspicious too. Jungkook's anger simmered back. Without wasting a second, he stormed to the building's security room, not caring that he was alone. The girl passing by looked at him shocked and then whispered, giggling to each other, but Jungkook didn't care. He stormed inside the security room and yelled, Show me the CCTV for the last 5 minutes right now. The guard hesitated, but one look at Jungkook's dark expression and the guard nodded, playing the footage. There you were on screen, your annoyed little frown, your muttered words caught faintly by the corridor mic. And finally, the moment you kicked his table, everything was recorded. Jungkook leaned forward, his eyes narrowing. He was furiously glaring at the CCTV footage. The guard tried to speak. That is Lee Yan. She is a teacher. Jungkook clutched. Where is she right now? His voice was ice, guard gulp and spoke stuttering. She might be in school right now. Jungkook nodded his head and pulling out his mobile phone from the pocket, he recorded the footage and then stormed out in anger. He reached building's owner's office and walked in without knocking. The owner gulped and stood. Mr. Jungkook, please come, he said, trying to ignore his towel. I have no time to waste. Call this girl right now and tell her to come her here, he said, showing him the footage. The owner frowned. Oh, this is Lee Wyan. She is really a kind and caring. He was speaking out, but Jungkook cut him off. I don't care who is she. Just call her right now. The owner flinched and nodded, dialing your number with trembling hands. At school, you were in the middle of leading your students through the final chorus of a dance routine for the upcoming school functions, sweat glistened on your forehead as you clapped your hands. Okay, so students, keep your hands high. Yes, just like that. Suddenly your fine was in pocket. You fished it out, still trying to catch your breath. Hello, Mr. Kang. You asked while gesturing the students to take a short break. It was the building owner. His voice unusually tense. Ryan, I need you to come back right now. It's important. What? But why, Mr. Kang? I have already paid the rent and it's not about the rent. Just come, please. It is urgent. He said and ended the call. You groaned and headed towards the principal office to request a leave. No, Miss Ryan, I can't. The grand function is tomorrow and students are not still prepared for their dance performance, he said while shaking his head dismissively. Principal, please, just for 30 minutes. I promise I will come back soon. The principal thought for a while and then nodded. Fine, but only for 30 minutes, no more. You nodded, bowing at him, and then walked out. Back at the building, reaching the office, you walked in to see Mr. Kang pacing back and forth, looking nervous. Yes, Mr. Kang, why you call me here? You asked him innocently, ignoring Jungkook, who was sitting on the chair. Mr. Kang leaned to Jungkook and whispered, Mr. Jungkook, are you okay? No, first I will handle her, he said, standing up. Mayan, this is your new neighbor. He has anything to discuss with you. Something? Oh, we are going to discuss more than just something, he said and turned around. You instantly closed your eyes. Oh my! You mumbled, shutting your eyes tightly, and started to step back. But before you could walk out, in one swift motion, Jungkook held your hand. Your eyes shoot open in shock, his damp hair falling slightly into his eyes, water still dripping down his jawline. You could feel the heat radiating off his skin. Jungkook scoffed loudly, his lips curling into a mocking smirk. You miss Delilu. Your mouth fell open in offense. Excuse me? Who are you calling me Delilu? His smirk was dropped, replaced by a glare. Why did you break my table? You gulped and tried to look innocent, shrugging lightly as you realized that why he was angry. My feet slipped. His grip on your wrist tightened just enough to make you squirm. Don't lie to me. I saw the CCTV footage myself. Oh, really? If you already saw the CCTV, then why are you even asking me? His eyes narrowed further. Because I wanted to hear you admit it. You rolled your eyes dramatically. Fine, I admit that. I kicked your table. Now let me go. No, you will have to pay for that, Miss Ryan. You shook your head quickly. Sorry, I don't have money. The corner of his mouth curved, but it was not a nice smile. Who said I was talking about money? Your eyes widen, you gulp and then smirk. Fine, but the only thing I can give you is. You click your tongue at him in mock sass. Absolutely nothing. Mr. King chuckled, hearing that, but Jungkook Claire immediately snapped. What are you laughing at? He muttered, and the owner instantly became quiet. Before things could get more awkward, you glanced over Jungkook's shoulder and widened your eyes with a mischievous smirk. Oh, there is a lizard! It worked. Jungkook had instantly turned to look behind him. You took that exact moment to shove him away and bolted down the hallway. Jungkook groaned. Hey, Miss Delilu! He shouted while running a hand through his hair. At night, you were sleeping peacefully, completely forgetting about the little war you had started, until a soft melody began floating through your walls. Your brows furrowed in your sleep. The sound grew clearer, smoother, teasing notes of piano. You sat up slowly, realizing exactly who it was. What the hell? You muttered, slipping your feet into your slippers, storming out into the hallway. You marched over and rang the bell. Once, twice, thrice, 10 minutes passed before the door finally swung open. Jungkook stood there yawning, leaning one shoulder against the door frame like you were the only one disturbing him. Yes, Miss Delilu, your eyes narrowed. Stop playing the piano. No. What do you mean, no? People are sleeping. He shrugged lazily. That sounds like a you problem. You groaned. My sleep is precious, okay? I won't let you take it away from me. In one swift motion, he caught your wrist. Oh, really? Then you should have thought about that before breaking my table. He said his device teased, his breath was warm against your cheek, a playful teasing smile playing on his lips. You groaned and ran to your apartment door and shooting him a glare, you slammed it shut behind you. Jungkook smirked. Why is she so cute even when she is annoying? The next morning, you stepped out of your apartment with your bag slung over your shoulder, ready to another day of wrangling students and memorizing dance steps for the today's school function. But before you could even lock your apartment door, you caught sight of Jungkook, who was dressed in a sleek black shirt and jeans, keys twirling lazily in his fingers, and was walking towards the shiny black car like he owned the entire building. You narrowed your eyes at him. Idiot, you muttered under your breath, glaring at his back. As if sensing your burning stare, he glanced over his shoulder that with that smug little half smile before sliding it to the driver's seat. The sound of his engine startling felt like an insult to your morning peace. By the time you reached school, you had managed to push him out of your mind, or so you thought. Backstage, you were surrounded by the excited chatter of students, all of them practicing their final moves before stepping out to perform. Okay, dear students, hands side. Yes, just like that. One, two, three, turn. You instructed, demonstrating the move smoothly. You were mid-spun, your steps graceful, your focus entirely on the routine until you stepped back and collided into something solid. No, someone solid. You turned around to see Jungkook, who was standing there like he had every right to be in your school, his hands in his pockets and his dark gaze was fixed on you. Your mood instantly dropped through the floor without even thinking. You unleashed. What are you doing here now? Don't you have something else to do? Are you following me now? You have got anything better to do? His lips parted, but before he could say a single word, you continued. Don't even try to speak. I don't want to hear your excuses. First, you annoy me at home, not here. Seriously, do you enjoy this? You are pointing at the students who are looking at both of you with confused eyes. Kids, come on, let's go. We don't have time to waste on distractions. Gathering them like a mother hen, you stumped towards the stage, refusing to give him even a glance. Jungkook stood there frozen for a while. You slipped into the audience area after the kids took their positions, plopping down on one of the side chairs to watch. You were just about to relax when you heard murmurs ripple through the crowd. You looked up and your stomach dropped. There he was, Jungkook. He was entering with two staff members leading him straight to the front. The principal was walking beside him, smiling like he had just won the lottery. You leaned towards one of the teachers beside you. Why is he here? That is Jungkook. He is your chief guest for today. Chief guest? Oh my. What if he tell the principal that I misbehaved with him? Oh no. The principal would definitely fire me out of this job. You mutter to yourself. You quickly grab the program sheet from your lap, holding it up like a shield in front of your face with the thought that he wouldn't see you, except he had already. He smirked to himself, leaning towards the principal. Mr. Han, Miss Ryan is quite good. She is hardworking. I saw how she was helping the students with dance practice. Oh, really? Then I will have to give her bonus with this much salary. Jungkook smiled and looked at you. After the performance, you made a beeline for the backstage exit. If you were quick enough, you could avoid him completely, except your escape plan didn't account for his timing. You rounded the corner and slammed straight into a hard chest. Strong hands shot out to steady you before you could fall back. Oh, I never thought you would be too shy, Miss Ryan. He said, his tea was dripping with mock surprise. Your throat went dry, and you could already picture him marching to the principal office to get you fired for the whole class incident. You stammered, taking a step back, but his hand stayed lightly at your side. Your mind swelled with panic, your breath coming quicker. Your vision swam, your knees weakened, and the last thing you saw was his smirk widening before everything went black. Before you could fall on the ground, he held you. Your head rested limply against his shoulder, your breathing slow and shallow from exhaustion. He gently pushed your bedroom door open and laid you down on the bed, making sure your head rested comfortably on the pillow. As he started to straighten up, your finger twitched. Your voice was sleepy whisper, your brows furrowed together as you mumbled. It is cold. Stay here, please. It is cold. Jungkook froze for a moment. He had passed 2 days calling you Miss Delilo and arguing over a broken table. Hearing those words in such a vulnerable tone was unexpected. He looked down at you. His irritation, his pretty grudges, literally, they all slipped away for a moment. He quietly reached over to switch on the heater, the soft hum. Then he pulled the blanket up to your chin, leaving your side to just for a moment. He stepped into your kitchen with the idea of making something warm for you. But the moment he walked in the kitchen, a sigh left his mouth. What the? He muttered under his breath. There were dishes piled up in the sink, crumbs scattered on the counter, and a half open bag of chips lying next to the toaster. He rubbed his temple. Oh, this woman, how she is surviving here. He rolled up his sleeve, cleaned the counters, washed the dishes, and set about making soup. The rhythmic sound of the ladle against the pot was oddly calming. By the time it was done, the kitchen looked neater. Carrying the steaming bowl into your room, he sat on the edge of your bed. Wine, wake up for a second. You need to eat. Your eyes fluttered open halfway, and you looked at him with a dazed expression. He sipped slowly, your gaze lingering on his face between mouthfuls. Thanks. You murmured, your voice so faint he almost didn't hear it. Jungkook stiffened instantly, his jaw clenched, while his pulse skipping a beat. 2 hours passed like that, the only sound in the room the soft hum of the heater. He hated to admit, but he was worried about you. With a sigh, he stood up, grabbed an extra blanket from your cupboard, and made himself comfortable on your couch. The next morning, you sat lazily under your blanket only to notice a tall figure sprawled out onto your couch. Your eyes narrowed as your brain registered the familiar face Jungkook still here. Your heart leaped into your throat and you sat up instantly. Hey! Jungkook started groaning softly before rubbing his eyes like a sleepy child. His hair was messy, his black t-shirt wrinkled from sleeping on the couch. Hmm, weren't you the one who asked me to stay? He mumbled, his voice still heavy with sleep. You blinked at him outraged. Excuse me? Me? Asked you? Why are you lying first thing in the morning? He sat up slowly, his hand dragging down his face as if he couldn't believe. I'm not lying, Ryan. Last night you literally told me, stay here, it is cold, remember? You crossed your arms and scoffed. Oh, I was in my sleep and you seriously took that as an invitation? Do you realize it? Jungkook rubbed his temple and suddenly stood up. Your words died instantly, replaced by the racing of your heartbeat in your ears. Jungkook pulled back, his eyes widening slightly as if he had just realized what he had done, his cheeks flushed crimson. Oh, I. Without another word, he turned and headed for the door, grabbing his hoodie from the couch armrest. In his haste, his foot caught on the rug. Oh, he muttered, regaining his balance before slipping out of the apartment. You stood frozen in place. Your eyes were wide, your cheeks burning than they ever had before. What was that? You muttered to yourself, shocked, while looking at doorway. Do let me know in comments if you want part 2 of this FF.